I hung suspended at 1,800 feet in the air for a full minute. It took everything I had just to regain control of my body. But when I finally saw what was in front of me, I was completely consumed by despair because the route I had carefully planned to reach the top had been completely destroyed. From 1,500 feet to 1,800 feet, all 200 climbing holds were gone. The structural gaps had been sealed shut with industrial-strength glue. The metal protrusions I was supposed to use for leverage had all been ground flat with power tools. At that point, forget free climbing. Even with a full set of professional gear, there wasn't a single place to plant my foot. But the worst was still to come. Johnson, the organizer of the event, not only refused to launch a rescue operation, keep climbing up the slippery glass or retreat downward. Below the building were removed. There were only two choices left in front of me. Keep climbing up the slippery glass or retreat downward. But compared to climbing up, going down was far more difficult and dangerous. One wrong move and I'd be smashed to pieces. I immediately called out to old Jack, but there was nothing but silence in my earpiece. That's when I realized my communication equipment had already lost signal. The only way I had to contact the outside world was gone. It was a murder plot designed specifically for me. What they wanted wasn't publicity. They wanted me to fall from the World Trade Center and become the biggest death headline on the planet. But what they didn't know was this.
If you want me dead, you'd better make sure you're capable of it. I didn't get this far because of luck.
And it all started 10 days earlier. That day, Johnson got down on her knees in front of me with $1 million reward and begged me to take on this challenge. My name is Emma. I'm the only female athlete in the world who has ever completed a 1,600-foot free solo climb. I know better than anyone that a single mistake can cost me my life. So when Johnson offered me $1 million to climb One World Trade Center in New York, standing 1,176 feet tall, my first reaction was to say no. I had already heard the stories about Johnson. 3 years ago, in an attempt to create a viral extreme challenge livestream, Johnson personally pushed a rookie wingsuit flyer into a dead-end situation. All Johnson could do was squeeze out a few crocodile tears.
Such a shame. He was a genius.
This time, Johnson knew exactly how to exploit my weakness. He promised that if I completed the challenge, he would donate a climbing training center in Africa in my name for children living in poverty. He said it would give those kids a chance to build a future beyond the grasslands. My agent, David, kept persuading me as well. This is a chance to bring climbing into the mainstream.
Miss Emma, all you need to do is focus on the climb. We'll handle everything else.
We promise we won't interfere with your judgment.
In the end, I believed them. I signed my name on the contract, but I never could have imagined that what I signed wasn't a challenge agreement at all. 3 days after signing, I discovered a deadly trap hidden inside the contract. And from the moment my pen touched that paper, I had already stepped into the hunting ground they had prepared for me.
I never imagined my partner, someone I trusted like family, would sell my life for $500,000.
Is this how you sold me out?
3 days earlier, I handed my climbing plan to Johnson. I asked him to lock down the site and check all the safety gear, but I never expected him to turn on me right then and there.
Emma, the live stream platform has new requirements. You can't wear a communication earpiece, and even the climbing markers you left during the survey must all be completely removed. The contract was signed by you. Can you even afford the $10 million penalty?
In that moment, my fury completely ignited. I turned to question my agent.
Did you even review this contract carefully?
I knew about these terms all along.
And then, the man I trusted most spoke the words that hurt the most.
These clauses. You knew about them all along.
Only then did I learn the truth. Johnson had paid him privately. His task was to trap me into signing these clauses. From the very beginning, this was a trap designed specifically for me. But what they didn't know was that I already knew about their scheme, and my counterattack had already begun. I'm going to attempt a free climb on the World Trade Center. But during my third round of equipment checks, I froze completely. My climbing chalk dot had been mixed with tiny shards of glass. The second I touch it, even a small cut could make me lose my grip and fall to my death. I looked down at my climbing shoes. A chill ran down my spine. The soles had been cut clean through. Before I could recover, I discovered something even deadlier. My only fall arrest device had all its critical parts removed. This wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate dismantling. If anything went wrong, this life-saving gear would be completely useless. This is outright murder.
Emma, these people are really trying to kill you. Don't do this! Just call the police!
I stared at the broken device in my hand.
If I quit now, I'm the one who really loses. I have no way back.
Either pay $10 million and lose everything, or push forward and finish this challenge by their rules. Since they chose to play dirty, don't blame me for holding nothing back. I pulled up the gym surveillance footage and started checking. A familiar figure appeared on the screen. My mind went completely blank at that moment. I never thought the one behind all this was Laura, my former partner who once fought alongside me. I hadn't even processed the shock when 3 knocks echoed at the door. It was not until I saw the surveillance footage that I realized the one who tried to kill me was my teammate Laura Wee. Trained together for 5 years and won the National Climbing Team Championship side by side. I taught her every professional climbing skill I had over the years. I even took the initiative to give my competition spot to her. Even so, she still hated me, only because I always rank above her, and she could only ever be a substitute player. She has harbored hatred for me for years. Her hatred burned so hot that she would even kill me to get rid of me. I confronted her with the surveillance footage. She showed no guilt at all and shouted at me hysterically.
Emma! Why do you get every single opportunity? I just want you to fall to your death!
She made no attempt to hide her vicious malice.
Jonathan has already promised me, if you die in this challenge, I'm the one climbing this skyscraper next.
She planned to take my place and become the top female rock climber. Looking at her distorted face, I only found it ridiculous.
You want to take my place? Then let's see if you even have the skill to back it up.
I sealed all the tampered climbing equipment on the spot and preserved all evidence. Johnson failed to kill me directly, so he decided to ruin my reputation first. In the following days, malicious rumors flooded the entire internet. They slandered me and poured endless dirty water on my name.
I am just an ordinary rock climber. When I woke up, my social media was flooded with abusive comments. Johnson fabricated a story claiming I had cheated in competitions. He even implied that I had won championship. More vicious attacks escalated, and Laura launched a platform-wide live broadcast. In the shot, she cried almost to the point collapse. She also showed fabricated chat records, claiming that she had been mentally oppressed by me all along.
I've been bullied by Emma Smith for 10 whole years!
They forcibly portrayed me as the abuser. At the same time, Johnson released partial contract content, hiding the clauses this favorable to me.
Emma Smith immediately backtracked, completely disregarding the millions I invested in this challenge.
He accused me of breach of contract in front of the media. He also demanded $10 million in liquidated damages. Public opinion was instantly ignited. I, Emma Smith, once a legend in extreme rock climbing, became a fraud overnight. All sponsors have terminated their cooperation. The national team quickly issued a statement to shred ties. Even the publicly rock climbing school of Fontenay-Year has been besieged. Calls kept pouring in, demanding the removal of all supplies purchased under my name. Their only goal was to force me to climb that building by their rules, or crush me completely with public opinion. Strangely, my internal training data was leaked, and every past failure of mine was used as evidence of match-fixing. The competition committee suddenly suspended all my competition qualifications and required me to cooperate with the investigation. I slowly turned my head and looked out the window. I have to reach the top of that building. I am the world's #1 female rock climber, but now I am facing a life or death dilemma. Either take on the challenge of the 1776-foot World Trade Center building or face ruin and pay tens of millions of dollars in liquidated damages. Everyone thought I would be forced to give up the challenge, but they forgot. I didn't get to where I am in the climbing world by luck. It's all about real ability. I connected with Johnson's call and told him he could proceed with this challenge, but I have 3 conditions. The route will be redesigned by me. The time window will be decided by me. And any matter concerning professional execution, neither he nor his team will interfere. Johnson thought I had compromised, thought I had finally accepted my fate, but he didn't know. I'm already preparing a counterattack. Over the next 3 days and 3 nights, old Jack and I hardly closed our eyes. We disassembled the building's glass curtain wall layer and recalculated every possible landing point. Plan an extreme climbing route.
Amy, are you sure about this route? Over 1,700 feet, there's absolutely no room for error.
Precisely because there's none, they'll drop their guard.
I slowly put away the drawings. If they want me to die within the rules, then I'll make them die outside. Meanwhile, I sealed all the tampered equipment and sorted them item by item into a chain of evidence. In the climbing warehouse and training base, I also set up multiple hidden cameras. Ensure that the entire process is fully documented. I thought this time it was airtight. What I didn't expect was that Johnson's real tupgade was still to come. I was about to attempt a free solo climb of a 1,776-foot building, but during my final on-site inspection, I discovered that many of the markings I had previously made had been tampered with. The glass curtain wall structure had been damaged from the inside using hydraulic tools. It still looked intact on the surface, but the moment it was under load, it would shatter immediately. Even more ruthless, the metal protruding footholds had been ground down by a grinder, removing all their anti-slip coating. Once stepped on, there would be almost no person at all, and Annie would cause a complete slip, and the only person capable of accurately all the markings and climb the exterior of the building like this was my teammate Laura. She had designed a deadly route. One wrong step, and I would fall from a great height with no time to react at all. I stood at nearly 200 meters looking down at the sea beneath me. It felt like the entire world was pressed under my feet. If I hadn't come back for a last-minute inspection and had started climbing according to the original plan, I probably wouldn't even make it past 300 meters before collapsing due to shattered footholds. There would be no chance to regret it. The original route is done. Activate the backup. That night, I completely revised my climbing plan. But what I didn't expect was that when I walked to the window to stretch, I saw a flashing red dot on the rooftop of the building opposite. It wasn't a light. Just one night before the challenge began, there was an even bigger gift waiting for me. They weren't just trying to cut off my climbing path, they were trying to cut off my life itself.
I was sleeping in over the weekend when my lawyer's phone call woke me up. One message after another flooded my phone. My bank account was frozen. My salary account was frozen. My competition prize account was frozen. Even my parents' retirement savings account wasn't spared. It turned out Johnson had applied for a pretrial injunction on the contract dispute. The court immediately froze everything under my name. Even the account of the charity school I funded for children in poverty on the African Santa was shut down after an anonymous report. Only at that moment did I finally realize he never trying to win or lose in the competition. He was cutting off every escape route I had, forcing me into a corner. Even if I completed the challenge, even if I held all the evidence to turn things around, I wouldn't be able to access a single dollar until the lawsuit ended. I couldn't eat his bargaining chip. If I announced I was withdrawing, the funding would be cut immediately and the donations could be taken back. He thought that this would be enough to keep me under control, forcing me to follow the script he had written, all the way up to that 1,776-month fall. I stared at the message on my screen, and I knew there was no retreat left. Only burning rage remained in my eyes. Tomorrow, the World Trade Center would be where everything was settled. They just didn't know yet. I had already set the trap long ago.
The plaza in front of One World Trade Center in New York was completely packed. Just because I was about to attempt a free solo climb of 1,776 feet. The livestream audience had already passed 6 million.
Comments are flooding in like a waterfall. Watch her fall and die.
Most of them weren't there to witness a miracle. They were there to watch me fail, or even wait for me to die. Meanwhile, my former teammate Laura was streaming in parallel. She looked into the camera with a cold smile.
She's definitely going to mess up today. Someone like her has no business being in this challenge.
They think I'm cornered. They think today is just an ending.
He packaged this life or death challenge as a model collaboration between capital and sports. But only he knew the truth. Either I withdraw and pay a $10 million penalty, or I fall to the ground and generate explosive traffic for him. I put on my climbing gear and walked step by step toward the starting point. My face showed no emotion. They thought I had collapsed. They thought I had been pushed to the edge. They thought today was the end. But they were all wrong. What I held in my hands wasn't just climbing skill. It was also the evidence that could bring them all down. The crowd began to stir.
Crowd starts to stir.
That's her. That's her.
I stand before the starting point, looking up at the towering glass monolith. At this moment, there's only one thought in my mind.
Stay safe. I'll be waiting for you on the ground.
My answer was calm.
I'm going up, and I'm coming down.
I brushed on the chalk. My fingertips touched the cold glass.
The life and death challenge officially begins. And this time, the script is no longer theirs.